In a time of darkness and oppression, when the people of Israel cried out for deliverance, God raised up an unlikely hero. Her name was Deborah, a prophetess and judge, who sat beneath a palm tree, dispensing wisdom and justice. The land trembled under the iron grip of King Jabin and his fearsome commander Sisera, whose 900 iron chariots struck terror into the hearts of all who opposed them. As our story begins, we see the bustling marketplace of ancient Israel, where whispers of hope mingle with the scent of spices and the bleating of sheep. A young boy, eyes wide with wonder, tugs at his mother's robe. "Tell me again," he pleads, "about the woman who led our people to victory." The mother smiles, her eyes twinkling with pride as she begins to recount the tale that has become legend. The scene shifts to a serene hillside, where a majestic palm tree stands tall against the azure sky. Beneath its fronds sits Deborah, her curly hair adorned with a simple circlet, her robes flowing in the gentle breeze. People from all walks of life gather around her, seeking guidance and judgment. As she speaks, her words carry the weight of divine authority, and even the mightiest warriors bow their heads in respect. But the peace is shattered by the distant rumble of chariots. The camera pans across the terrified faces of villagers as Sisera's army approaches, their iron chariots gleaming in the sun like harbingers of doom. Children cling to their parents, and farmers clutch their tools as makeshift weapons. The air is thick with fear and desperation. In this moment of crisis, Deborah rises. Her voice, clear and unwavering, cuts through the panic. "The Lord has spoken," she declares, her eyes blazing with determination. "He will deliver us from our oppressors." The crowd falls silent, hanging on her every word as she reveals God's plan. With divine guidance, Deborah summons Barak, a valiant but hesitant warrior. We see him approach, his armor glinting in the sunlight, his face a mixture of awe and uncertainty. "The Lord commands you," Deborah proclaims, her voice resonating with prophetic power, "to gather 10,000 men and lead them to Mount Tabor. For on that day, God will give Sisera into your hands." Barak, his brow furrowed with doubt, replies, "If you go with me, I will go. But if you don't go with me, I won't go." Deborah's eyes soften with understanding, but her voice remains firm as she agrees, adding a prophecy that will echo through the ages. "Very well, I will go with you. But because of the course you are taking, the honor will not be yours. For the Lord will deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman." The scene shifts to the majestic slopes of Mount Tabor, where Barak's army gathers. 10,000 men stand ready, their weapons glinting in the morning light. Deborah stands beside Barak, her presence a beacon of courage and faith. As Sisera's chariots thunder across the plain below, dark clouds gather ominously overhead. Suddenly, the heavens open. Rain pours down in torrents, transforming the battlefield into a quagmire. The mighty chariots, once invincible, now struggle and sink in the mud. Barak, his face set with grim determination, raises his sword and cries out, "For the Lord and for Israel." His army surges forward, their battle cries mingling with the crash of thunder. The ensuing battle is a whirlwind of action and heroism. Israelite warriors clash with Canaanite soldiers, swords flashing and shields splintering. Through it all, we catch glimpses of Deborah, her voice rising above the din, encouraging the troops and calling upon the Lord for strength. As the tide of battle turns, we see Sisera, the once mighty commander, fleeing on foot. His face is a mask of fear and disbelief as he abandons his useless chariot and runs for his life. The camera follows him as he stumbles through the countryside, eventually coming upon a solitary tent. Here we meet Jael, a woman of the Kenite tribe. Her eyes narrow as she recognizes the fugitive, but her face quickly smooths into a welcoming smile. "Come in, my lord," she says, her voice honey-sweet. "Don't be afraid." Sisera, exhausted and desperate, accepts her offer of shelter. Inside the tent, Jael tends to the weary commander. She covers him with a blanket and offers him milk to drink. As Sisera drifts into an uneasy sleep, Jael's expression hardens with resolve. In a heart-stopping moment, she reaches for a tent peg and a hammer. The scene fades to black, leaving the audience to imagine the fateful blow that fulfills Deborah's prophecy. When light returns, we see Barak in pursuit of Sisera, only to find Jael emerging from her tent. "Come," she says, her voice steady. "I will show you the man you're looking for." Inside, Barak discovers Sisera lying dead, the tent peg still embedded in his temple. As news of the victory spreads, we return to the marketplace where our story began. The young boy's eyes are wide with amazement as his mother concludes the tale. "And so," she says, her voice filled with pride, "through the courage of Deborah, the faith of Barak, and the boldness of Jael, God delivered our people from oppression." The final scenes show Israel rejoicing. Deborah and Barak lead the people in a song of praise, their voices rising in harmony as they recount the Lord's mighty deeds. The land, once ravaged by war, now blossoms with peace and prosperity. For 40 years, the people enjoy the fruits of their faith and obedience. As the sun sets on this golden age, we see Deborah once more beneath her palm tree, her hair now streaked with silver. She smiles as she watches a new generation playing freely in the fields. Her voice, still strong and clear, offers a final reflection. "Remember, my children, that God's power is not bound by our expectations. He works through the overlooked and the ordinary, through those who have the courage to stand firm in faith and the wisdom to move when he says go. Whether you are a judge like me, a warrior like Barak, or a homemaker like Jael, know that the Lord can use you to accomplish great things. Trust in him, be brave, and always be ready to answer his call. The camera pans out, revealing the vast expanse of Israel, peaceful and prosperous under the watchful eye of its unlikely heroine. As the music swells, we are reminded that in every generation, God raises up leaders from unexpected places, using ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary feats. And so, the story of Deborah, Barak, and Jael becomes more than just a tale of ancient victory. It stands as a timeless testament to the power of faith, the strength found in unity, and the unexpected ways in which God works to deliver his people. In a world that often feels chaotic and oppressive, their story reminds us that with courage, obedience, and trust in the divine, even the mightiest obstacles can be overcome.